Hi there. I'm really glad you're here. If you're anything like me, you've probably stood in the middle of a messy room holding something random in your hand, just staring, not moving, not cleaning, just stuck. It's not that we don't want a tidy home, it's that we're tired, overwhelmed, and every time we try to declutter, it somehow turns into a bigger mess, or we end up keeping things we don't even need. Again, the truth is, sometimes the clutter isn't just in our house. It's in our thinking, in all the what-ifs, the guilt, the pressure to get it all right. That's why today, I'm not giving you a to-do list. I'm sharing 7 mindset shifts, 7 common thoughts that kept me stuck in clutter for years, and how I finally started to let go. You don't need to do everything today, but maybe, just maybe, one of these shifts will give you that quiet click inside, the kind that makes you feel lighter before you've even moved a thing. Let's get into it. Myth 1. I just need more bins. Let's start with one that feels productive but actually keeps us stuck. For years, I thought my problem was storage. I didn't have enough bins or labels or fancy drawer organizers, so I kept buying more. And for a while, it felt like I was doing something right. Everything looked kind of put together. But here's the truth I didn't want to face: I didn't need better storage. I needed less stuff. No bin in the world could fix the fact that I was holding on to way too many things, most of which I didn't use, didn't love, or didn't even remember I had. All those bins, they just became nicer looking clutter. What finally helped me was flipping the process. Now I declutter first. Only after that do I decide if I even need storage. 9 times out of 10, I don't. Just last month, I emptied out 2 huge baskets in the hallway, only to realize they were holding things no one in the house even used anymore. The bins weren't the solution. They were hiding the real issue. Decluttering isn't about organizing better. It's about being honest about what you actually need to keep. And if you've ever found yourself just moving piles from one room to another, tomorrow's video will dig into that with a few rules that helped me break that exact cycle. You'll definitely want to catch it. And the next myth. It hits right in the wallet, and it kept me holding on to way more than I should have. Next is decluttering myth 2, but it was expensive. This one hits where it hurts our wallets and our pride. For the longest time, I held on to things simply because they cost me a lot, even if I didn't wear them, even if I didn't use them. The price tag or the memory of the price tag kept me stuck. There was a jacket I bought for some event that never happened. It still had the tag on. Every time I saw it, I didn't feel stylish. I felt guilty. Guilty for spending. Guilty for not wearing. Guilty for even thinking about letting it go. But here's what changed. I realized I was punishing myself by keeping it. The money was already gone, and keeping the item wouldn't bring it back. So now I treat it like this. That money. That was tuition. A payment toward learning what I actually use, need, and enjoy. That jacket taught me something, and once I saw it that way, it was easier to let it go. If something cost a lot, but is just taking up space and energy, let it go and keep the lesson. Clutter. That cost you money is still clutter. Don't let guilt rent space in your home. And up next, a myth I clung to for years because I genuinely believed I didn't have time to declutter, until I realized what was really going on. Now, decluttering myth 3. I just don't have time to declutter. Oh, I used to say this all the time. I'd look around and think, ugh, I really need to go through that closet. But I don't have a whole afternoon for it. So I'd wait and put it off. And of course, it just kept building. But eventually, I had to be honest with myself. It wasn't that I had no time. I just thought I needed a lot of time to make it count. Turns out I don't. 5 minutes. 10 minutes. That's often all it takes to make visible progress, especially if you do it often. One night before bed, I set a timer for 10 minutes, and tackled my nightstand drawer. I thought I'd barely make a dent, but by the time the timer went off, it was done. No more receipts from 3 years ago, no more tangled chargers, just space. Now I treat decluttering like brushing my teeth. I don't wait until the weekend. I just fit it in small, steady done. You don't need hours. You need a few minutes and a starting point. Next, let's talk about the myth that tricks almost everyone, especially the just-in-case people like I used to be. Let's move into decluttering myth 4. I might need this someday. This one kept my drawers, closets, and garage full for years. I didn't even realize how often I was saying it quietly in my head every time I picked something up. I might need this. What if someone else needs it? Maybe when we go camping again. Maybe when I fix that thing. Maybe someday. Here's what I learned. Someday rarely comes, and even if it does, I usually forget I even had the thing I was saving. So I changed the question. Instead of asking, might I need this, I ask, if I needed this, tomorrow would I even remember where to find it? And if the answer is no, that's my sign to let it go. To make it easier, I started using a maybe box. It's just a bin where I put all the not sure yet items. I mark the date, set a 30-day reminder on my phone, and tuck it out of sight. If I don't go back to look for anything in that bin, I donate the whole thing. No second guessing. Decluttering isn't about being ruthless. It's about being honest with yourself. And the next myth. It sounds sweet on the surface, but it's been weighing down homes for generations. Now let's talk about decluttering myth 5. But it was a gift. This one's tender and tricky. There were so many things I kept, not because I liked them, but because someone gave them to me. A mug I never used, a scarf I never wore, a decorative sign that didn't match anything in my home. But I held on to them year after year out of guilt. Because somewhere in my mind, letting go of the gift felt like letting go of the person. Or worse, like I was being ungrateful. But here's the shift that helped me. Once someone gives you something, it becomes yours. That means you get to decide what to do with it. Their love, their thoughtfulness is in the act of giving. It's not inside the object itself. If it's not useful, not meaningful, or doesn't bring you joy, it's okay to let it go. And if they ever ask about it, you can be kind and honest. I appreciated the gift so much, and I found a home for it where it'll be used and loved. You're not throwing away the person. You're simply choosing peace over pressure. Your home is not a museum for other people's expectations. Coming up next is a myth that disguises itself as being prepared, but really it just adds more to the clutter. Now for decluttering myth 6. I should save this. Someone might want it one day. This one feels responsible, thoughtful even. I used to hold on to so many things. Old photos, notebooks, random trinkets, even broken decor. Not because I used them, but because I felt like I should save them. What if someone asks about it? What if it means something to someone else? What if I regret it later? But over time, I realized most of the things I was keeping weren't bringing me peace. They were bringing me pressure. The pressure to be the memory keeper, the family historian, the just-in-case person who holds on forever. So I gave myself a new rule. If something carries real meaning, I keep it. But it has to earn the space it takes up. I allow myself a boundary. One memory bin. That's it. If it overflows, I reevaluate. Because the truth is, not everything has to be saved to be remembered. Some things live better in your heart than in a dusty box. Letting go of the object doesn't mean letting go of the moment. And now the final myth, one that tricks so many of us into thinking the problem isn't clutter, it's organization. And finally, decluttering myth 7. I don't have a clutter problem. I just need better organization. This one fooled me for years. I truly believed that if I just got the right bins, the right shelving system, maybe a fresh set of labels, then everything would feel manageable. But here's what really happened. I spent more time organizing my clutter than actually dealing with it. I was shuffling, stacking, color coding, but not letting go. The truth: you can't organize your way out of too much stuff. The turning point for me was when I realized that real change doesn't come from better systems. It comes from fewer things and clearer boundaries. Now I declutter first always, once I've removed what no longer serves me. Organizing becomes easier and honestly often unnecessary. I've donated bins I once thought I needed because once I decluttered, I didn't have enough stuff left to fill them. Decluttering isn't about getting it together. It's about having less to manage in the first place. And if this list hit home for you even just one myth, then you're already on the right track. Let's wrap up together. So those were the 7 decluttering myths that kept me stuck, and honestly still try to creep back in from time to time. But the more I notice them, the easier they are to replace with something more honest, more helpful, and a whole lot lighter. If even just one of these sounded familiar, take that as a good sign. It means you're noticing the stories that are holding you back, and that's where real change starts. You don't have to do everything today, but maybe today is the day you let go of one item, or one excuse, or even just the pressure to be perfect. And if you want more support, especially around what to do when you're just moving clutter around from room to room, I have a video coming that covers exactly that. It'll give you a few clear, simple rules to break the cycle without adding more bins to your cart. If this video helped at all, I'd love for you to hit like or share it with someone else who might need a little peace at home too. And if you haven't yet, feel free to subscribe. No pressure, just steady real-life support for a simpler home. You deserve a space that feels good to come home to.